Hi friends, welcome back to Sharing Zoology. So in this session, I'm going to explain about the volumes and capacities of our lungs. First one is volumes. Different volumes of lungs. Different volumes of lungs includes tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, residual volume, etc. So these are the different types of volumes of lungs. This different volumes of lungs includes tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and residual volume. These are the different volumes of lungs. So let's begin with tidal volume of our lungs. Tidal volume. In our life, breathing begins just after the birth. And after breathing, suppose this is the representation of two lobes of our lungs. This is the representation of two lobes of our lungs. When we start breathing, some amount of air always left in the lungs. When we start breathing, some amount of air always left in the lungs after the expiration. This is the residual air. This air is residual air. Then he continued the breathing. During his normal breathing, a particular volume of air he can breathe in and breathe out during his normal respiration. So when he continues the normal breathing mechanism, a particular volume of air he can breathe in or breathe out during his normal respiration. This volume of air a person can breathe in or breathe out during his normal respiration is called as tidal volume. So this air volume is tidal volume. So what is tidal volume? The volume of air a person can breathe in or breathe out during his normal respiration is tidal volume. This tidal volume is about 500 ml. This tidal volume is about 500 ml in an average healthy individual. So in an average healthy individual, this tidal volume is about 500 ml. It is about 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. It is about 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. That is the minute volume. This minute volume is called as pulmonary ventilation. This minute volume is called as pulmonary ventilation or the minute volume. So pulmonary ventilation or minute volume is the volume of air a person can breathe in or breathe out during his normal respiration. During his normal respiration per minute called as minute volume or pulmonary ventilation. So the pulmonary ventilation or PV, pulmonary ventilation equal to respiratory frequency into tidal volume. Pulmonary ventilation equal to respiratory frequency into tidal volume. What is respiratory frequency? Number of breaths per minute. In an average healthy individual, this respiratory frequency is about 12 to 16 times per minute. So when we multiply this respiratory frequency with the tidal volume, so when we multiply this tidal volume with the respiratory frequency, we get the minute volume. That minute volume is about 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. This is pulmonary ventilation. So pulmonary ventilation or minute volume is the volume of air breathe in or breathe out during normal respiration per minute called as the pulmonary ventilation or the minute volume. So here in this minute volume, see this is the air passes through the respiratory tract and finally reaches this alveoli. And the inhaling air finally reaches this respiratory zone. Respiratory zone constitute respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct and alveoli constitute the respiratory zone. So in this pulmonary ventilation, about 70% of air reaches this respiratory zone by the inhalation. Only 70% of air reaches this respiratory zone like respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct and finally the alveoli. 30% of air remains blocked in this conducting part. 30% of air blocked in the conducting part. So 70% reaches the respiratory zone and 30% blocked in the conducting part. Conducting part, that means this conducting part along with this remaining air are collectively called as anatomical dead space. This conducting part and the remaining air is collectively called as anatomical dead space. So we know in a breath about 500 ml air moves into and out of the lungs. And from this 500, about 30% of air blocked in this conducting part. About 30% of air blocked in the conducting part means about 150 ml of air blocked in the conducting part per breath. So by multiplying this 150 ml with respiratory frequency, we get the minute volume of air blocked in this conducting part. That minute volume is about 1800 to 2400 ml. So about 1200 to 2400 ml blocked in this conducting part in a pulmonary ventilation. 1800 to 2400 ml blocked in the conducting part in a pulmonary ventilation called as anatomic dead space ventilation. This is called anatomical dead space ventilation. So this anatomical dead space ventilation equal to respiratory frequency into 150 ml. We get the anatomical dead space ventilation. It is about 1800 to 2400 ml. The remaining 70% of these 500, that means about 350 ml of air reaches this respiratory zone. About 350 ml of air reaches this respiratory zone. That air, that means the volume of air reaches the alveoli and their duct. The volume of air reaches the alveoli and their duct per minute called as alveolar ventilation. The volume of air reaches the alveoli and their duct per minute called as alveolar ventilation. It is about 350 ml per breath. It is about 350 ml per. In a breath, about 350 ml air reaches this respiratory zone. So by multiplying this 350 ml with the respiratory frequency, we get the minute volume. That is about 4200 to 5600 ml. 4200 to 5600 ml. This is known as alveolar ventilation. So about 70% of air reaches the alveoli and their duct called as alveolar ventilation, and about 30% of air blocked in the anatomical dead space or conducting part called as anatomical dead space ventilation. So by adding this alveolar ventilation with the anatomical dead space ventilation, we get the pulmonary ventilation. So this pulmonary ventilation is the sum of alveolar ventilation and anatomical dead space ventilation. This total is about 6000 to 8000 ml. So we learned about the tidal volume. Okay, so this is the air volume remains in the lungs after the expiration, and this is the volume of air a person can breathe in or breathe out during normal respiration. This is tidal volume. Next volume is inspiratory reserve volume. Inspiratory reserve volume. IRV. Inspiratory reserve volume. By a normal inspiration, only tidal volume reaches the lungs. By a normal inspiration, only tidal volume reaches the lungs. See, first of all, a normal expiration. By a normal expiration, this tidal volume move away from the lungs. This is followed by a normal inspiration. By this normal inspiration, this same tidal volume reaches the lungs. This is the normal quiet breathing. But after a normal expiration, tidal volume move away from the lungs, followed by a forcible inspiration. By this forcible inspiration, tidal volume enters the lung. Along with this tidal volume, some amount of air additionally enters the lungs. In addition with the tidal volume, some amount of air reaches the lung in addition to this tidal volume by a forcible inspiration. This additional air volume, a person can breathe in by a forcible inspiration is known as inspiratory reserve volume. So what is inspiratory reserve volume means? The additional air volume. A person can breathe in by a forcible inspiration is known as inspiratory reserve volume. Suppose by this forcible inspiration, about 3500 ml of air enters his lung. But we know from this total 3500, 500 ml is his tidal volume. That additional 3000 is the additional volume he breathed in by his forcible inspiration. This additional air volume is known as inspiratory reserve volume. So what is inspiratory reserve volume? The additional volume of air a person can breathe in by a forcible inspiration called as inspiratory reserve volume. And this IRV is about 2500 to 3000 ml in an average healthy individual. Next air volume is expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume. ERV. Suppose this is the residual air. Residue. Then this one is tidal volume. This is the remaining residual air and this is the tidal volume. See, by his normal expiration, only this tidal volume move away from the lungs. If he done a normal expiration, only tidal volume move away from the lungs. But if he done a forcible expiration, what happened? Along with this tidal volume, some amount of air additionally move away from the lungs. Because without any effort, tidal volume move away from the lungs. But when we put some additional effort, some amount of air additionally move away from the lungs. See here, by a forcible expiration, along with this tidal volume, by a forcible expiration, along with this tidal volume, some amount of air, see we have this much amount of residue. By a forcible expiration, along with this tidal volume, some amount of air from the lungs additionally move away from the lungs. That means about this much amount of air move away from the lungs. This is the additional air he breathed out by his forcible expiration. This additional air volume is known as expiratory reserve volume. Suppose his total exhalation is 1500 ml. And we know 500 is his tidal volume. The remaining 1000 ml he breathed out by his forcible expiration. So here expiratory reserve volume means the additional air, this additional air volume a person can breathe out by a forcible expiration is known as expiratory reserve volume. And this ERV is about, this expiratory reserve volume is about 1000 to 1100 ml. Okay, so this is the expiratory reserve volume. Next air volume is residual volume. Residual volume. Suppose this is the residual air, and this from the tidal volume. During a normal expiration, only tidal volume move away from the lungs, but by a forcible expiration, along with this tidal volume, some amount of air from these lungs also move from the lungs. So by his forcible expiration, this tidal volume with this additional air move away from the lungs. This additional air volume is ERV and this is tidal volume. See, this is a forcible expiration. But even after this forcible expiration, the air remains in the lungs. This air volume remains in the lung even after a forcible expiration. This air volume remains in the lungs even after a forcible expiration is known as the residual volume. So what is residual volume? The volume of air remains in the lungs even after a forcible expiration is known as the residual volume. This residual volume or RV is about 1200 ml. These are the different volumes of lungs. So different volumes of lungs are the always remaining air, residual volume. Then the air volume move away from the lungs only by a forcible expiration is expiratory reserve volume. Then the air volume a person can breathe in or breathe out during normal respiration is tidal volume. Then the additional air volume a person can breathe in by a forcible inspiration is inspiratory reserve volume. These are the different volumes of lungs. Next part is capacities of lungs. Different capacities of lungs. Different lung capacities includes, first one, inspiratory capacity. First type of capacity is inspiratory capacity. Suppose this is lung, and here the always remaining air is residual volume. Then the air move away from the lungs only by a forcible expiration is ERV. So these are the total residue. Always remaining air, RV means the volume remain even after a forcible expiration. The next is ERV. This is the air volume move away from the lungs only by a forcible expiration. Next is tidal volume. The air volume moves into and out of the lung during his normal respiration. See here, the inspiratory capacity. Capacity means the sum of the total volume of air represented as capacity. So lung capacities are the combination of different lung volumes. Capacity means combination of different lung volumes like TV, IRV, ERV and RV. The combination of different lung volumes are represented as capacities of lungs. So first is inspiratory capacity. For checking inspiratory capacity, a person first of all done a normal expiration. See, he done a normal expiration. What happened? Only the tidal volume move away from the lungs. When he done a normal expiration, only tidal volume move away from the lungs. This is followed by a forcible inspiration. This normal expiration, this is the normal expiration. This normal expiration is followed by a forcible inspiration. This normal expiration is followed by a forcible inspiration. What happened? By this forcible inspiration, this tidal volume returns to the lungs. But this is a forcible inspiration. By this forcible inspiration, some amount of air additionally reaches the lung. See, this is the total volume of air. This is the sum of air he breathed in after his normal expiration. So this total volume of air, what is the total? The sum of IRV and TV. This total volume of air, the person can breathe in after a normal expiration is called as inspiratory capacity. So what is inspiratory capacity? The total volume of air a person can breathe in after a normal expiration is called as inspiratory capacity. This total volume he breathed in after his normal expiration. This is inspiratory capacity. So inspiratory capacity or IC is the sum of IRV plus TV. We know the normal IRV is about 2500 to 3000 ml. We took the upper limit 3000. So 3000 ml plus 500. So it is about 3500 ml. This inspiratory capacity is about 3500 ml. Next one is expiratory capacity. Expiratory capacity. So expiratory capacity. Suppose here this is a lung and this is the residual volume and this one is ERV and this is a normal tidal volume. So for checking the expiratory capacity, first of all, this person done a normal inspiration. What happened during this normal inspiration? By this normal inspiration, first of all he done a normal inspiration. By this normal inspiration, only tidal volume enters the lungs. This is followed by a forcible expiration. What happened by this forcible expiration? Along with this tidal volume, this additional air volume also move away from the lungs. That additional air volume is known as ERV. So what is this expiratory capacity means? The sum or the total volume of air. The total volume of air a person can breathe out after a normal inspiration. The total volume of air a person can breathe out after a normal inspiration. This is the total volume he breathed out after his normal inspiration. This is expiratory capacity. So this expiratory capacity or EC is the sum of tidal volume and ERV. It is the sum of tidal volume and ERV. What is the normal tidal volume? 500 ml. The normal ERV is about 1100 to 1100 ml. So this expiratory capacity is about 1600 ml. Next capacity is functional residual capacity, FRC. Functional residual capacity or FRC. Suppose this is the lung. And here the always remaining air, that means the air volume remained in the lung even after a forcible expiration is residual volume, and this ERV is the air volume move away from the lungs only by a forcible expiration, and this is the tidal volume. So functional residual capacity means the normal residue forming capacity. This normal residue means the air volume remains in the lungs after a normal expiration is normal residue. See, by a normal expiration, only this tidal volume move away from the lungs. Then the air remain in the lungs are this ERV and RV. Because ERV move away from the lungs only by a forcible expiration. Therefore, after a normal expiration, what happened? This ERV as well as RV remains in the lungs. This total volume of air remains in the lungs after a normal expiration is called as functional residual capacity. So FRC is the sum of ERV and RV. What is a normal ERV? Normal ERV is about 1100. Then RV is about 1200. So it is about 2300 ml. Next capacity is vital capacity. Next one is vital capacity or VC. Vital capacity means maximum inhalation or the maximum exhalation is called as vital capacity. So we know about RV, ERV and tidal volume. For finding out the maximum inhalation capacity, first of all, you have to done a forcible expiration. So what happened by a forcible expiration? By a forcible expiration, this tidal volume as well as this ERV move away from the lungs. This tidal volume as well as ERV move away from the lungs by this forcible expiration. This is followed by a maximum inhalation. This is followed by a maximum inhalation. What happened by a maximum inhalation? By a maximum inhalation of air, this ERV returns to the air. Tidal volume returns to the air. But this is a forcible inspiration. Along with this tidal volume, some air additionally enters the lungs called as IRV. So this is the total volume of air he can breathe in after a forcible expiration, or this is the maximum inhalation after a forcible expiration is called as vital capacity. So this is the sum of IRV plus TV plus ERV. IRV plus TV plus ERV. Then maximum exhalation is also called as vital capacity. Maximum exhalation is also vital capacity. Suppose this is RV, ERV. And for finding out maximum exhalation capacity, we have to done a forcible inspiration. See, by a forcible inspiration, what happened? Along with this tidal volume, the IRV also enters the lung by his forcible inspiration. This is followed by a maximum exhalation. What happened during maximum exhalation after this forcible inspiration? By this maximum exhalation, this tidal volume, IRV, tidal volume and ERV, this much air move away from the lungs. This is the maximum exhalation after the forcible inspiration. That is the sum of IRV plus TV plus ERV. So both are same. The maximum inhalation after the forcible exhalation, or the maximum exhalation after the forcible inspiration is called as vital capacity. So VC is the sum of IRV plus TV plus ERV. Or what is IRV plus TV? IRV plus TV. IRV plus TV is IC. Or it is also represented as IC plus ERV. IC plus ERV. IRV plus EV is IC. IC plus ERV. Or what is TV plus ERV? What is TV plus ERV? TV plus ERV is EC. Or it is also represented as EC plus IRV. This is EC. This form EC. EC plus IRV. So VC is represented as IRV plus TV plus ERV, or IC plus ERV, or EC plus IRV. IRV is about 3000, TV 500, then ERV 1100. So the total 4600 ml. This is the vital capacity. Next is the total lung capacity. Total lung capacity. So we know RV, ERV, TV and IRV. So total lung capacity means the total volume of air accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forcible inspiration. The total volume accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forcible inspiration called as total lung capacity. See, after a maximum inhalation, the total air accommodated in the lungs includes IRV, TV, ERV, and the always remaining air RV. This total air accommodated in the lungs at the end of this forcible inspiration is known as total lung capacity. So this TLC, total lung capacity, is the sum of IRV plus TV plus ERV plus RV. Or it is also represented as what IRV plus TV plus ERV. IRV plus TV plus ERV is simply VC. So it is also represented as this form VC plus RV. So it is also represented as VC plus RV. Then what is IRV plus TV? IRV plus TV is IC. Then what is ERV plus RV? ERV plus RV. ERV plus RV is FRC. So it is also represented as, this TLC is also represented as IC plus FRC. What is the sum? VC 4600, RV 1200. So the total 5800 ml. These are the total lung capacity, and these form different lung capacities like inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity, and total lung capacity. So in this session, we completed the different volumes and capacities of lung. And thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe, like, and share my channel. Okay, thank you. See you.